Hello and welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Teniola Shibowale. We begin today in Somalia, where about 100 MPs have backed a motion of no confidence against President Mohamed Abdullahi. They accuse him of undermining the constitution by signing a secret deal that unites the country with Ethiopia and Eritrea. The next stage is for the Speaker to set a date for the debate in Parliament. Relations have thawed between leaders of the three East African nations since the appointment of Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed in April. Since the election of Somalia's president in 2017, there's also been greater political stability. More than 150 nations have signed a landmark international agreement on managing migration. The UN Pact, which is not legally binding, was adopted at a meeting in Morocco. It has been shunned by some countries, including the United States, Australia, and at least 6 EU nations. Its objectives include the integrated management of borders and giving migrants access to basic services. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said the pact was based on cooperation in regulating migration. He called it a source of collective shame that 60,000 migrants had died on dangerous journeys since the year 2000. All 193 UN members, except the United States, finalized the pact in July. Joining us now for more on this is a human rights activist, Olatunji Larry Bariwa. Hello, Mr. Olatunji.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
It's good to see you. What are your thoughts on this landmark international agreement on managing migration?
I'm particularly impressed, and I think it's been a long time coming, even though it came with its own disadvantages for every party involved. And if you look at the arguments of the United Nations for some time now, Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General, used to be the head of the UN agency responsible for human rights and in the past. And he has been trying to advocate for this, that globally we have an international convention signed in 1951 for refugees, a global convention on the rights of refugees, but we do not have anything as important as migrants. So this is impressive, it is good, and it's a step in the right direction, but it's going to come at the cost to everybody. It's going to come at the price, and we could already feel that. The Belgian Prime Minister has already got a partner in his coalition government, and the Belgian government is now going to run, going for the minority. So, but I'm particularly impressed, and I think everybody who has been advocating for the rights of migrants and all across right will be impressed that we need to move forward. Also significantly, only 164 countries signed. If you consider 192 countries actually endorsed this in July. But I think it's a good number to start with.
Well, one of the objectives of this agreement is giving migrants access to basic services. But wouldn't this bring about an increase in migration?
It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. But the Pact, the Global Compact for Migrants, the GCM, in itself, it's not supposed to be an incentive for migrants to keep coming, because what it has done is to bring everybody to the table, is to open up conversation. We've been arguing and advocating for a multilateralism, and this is what we have now. But what this does not encroach on the right of respective countries to continue to, legislate on the model of migration that is allowed. It does not suddenly remove the punishment attached to illegal migration or, the tight restriction around that. The populists in Europe, the populist government you have across the world, which, unfortunately and sadly, is led by the American government. It contributes on the sweat and strength of migrants. I've twisted the argument that it's going to open their borders, to everybody to come in, but that's not the case. There's a possibility that a lot of people will feel like people will get more desperate, crossing into other countries, either through the illegal route or legal routes, knowing fully well now that their rights will be respected, now that they are guaranteed fundamental human rights, now that they are entitled to basic services by the host countries. But also, this has also opened up other countries. The countries of origin are now compelled to sit at the table and also repatriate. You are also, every party that has signed on to this means that if I have citizens of Nigeria, illegally migrating into Italy, and we are also compelled to bring them back into Nigeria and resettle them. So it's not just a one free way that you open the door for everybody to go to Europe. The implication is that you are also expected to bring them back. So it's a double-edged sword, but it is a positive development. Restoring fundamental human rights, the right to education, the right to healthcare, for people, it's also important. And today, the Secretary General of the United Nations, started his speech emphasizing something that, there's a demographic shift in Europe. And a lot of the developed countries are already aging. And in time, in the not too distant future, you are going to require a lot of migrants to keep their economy afloat, to keep basic services, functioning.
Yeah.
And that is an emphasis. That is something that a lot of people are not paying attention to.
Well, human rights activist Mr. Olatunji Larry Bariwa, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for giving us insight on this story.